Am I finally ready to start reading House of Sky and Breath? Well, I have no idea, but today I'll be talking about my March TBR, which this may or may not be read in March. Who knows? But we'll see. But let's go ahead and talk about the books. This month, March, I have very ambitious plans, not just like with the amount of books, but like with the amount of books and the plans I have for this month, because I have a lot going on towards the end of the month, so it's gonna be a little hectic, but I'm hoping to read 30-ish books this month. I also haven't read that many books since like November, so don't know if that'll happen. I've been reading about 10-ish books per month since then, so we'll see what happens. I will say that I do have kind of a secret TBR, not really secret, but I'm working on a video. I'm going to start working on it in March, and there are 21 books on that list. I've already read like 5-ish of them, I think, but we should be able to get a lot of those off the list in March. I'm not, like, my plan isn't to finish that video in March, but I'm hoping to get as much of it finished as possible. So I'll talk about the books on some of the books that I have that are on that list, but I'm not going to tell you why they are related. You're welcome to guess though, if that'll be fun for you. I've got 6 books physically from that list. First is First Love Take 2 by Sajni Patel. I actually purchased this last year. I was very excited to read it, and of course every time I purchase a book I don't read it for who knows how long. But this is a second chance romance, and both of the main characters, I want to say, are doctors. Are there like high stress jobs basically, I want to say. But I'm really excited to read this. I've heard so many good things about it, and also the cover's adorable. So yeah. Another book from the list is Dial A for Aunties by Sutanto, which everyone read last year. It was on the Goodreads Choice Awards for mystery, I believe. I know there is a mystery aspect to it, but from what I can tell, most people actually consider this to be a romance. So I'm hoping to read this. All I know is that somebody dies and she calls up her aunties to help her get rid of the body. That's what I know. Is that correct? We'll see. 2 other books, random books that are on the list. Devil's Bride by Stephanie Lawrence and Annie's Song by Katherine Anderson. I believe this one is a contemporary romance, or it's Western, which I'm not thrilled about that. That's one romance subgenre that I don't like, Westerns. And then this one is historical. I believe it's set in Scotland. I honestly have no idea. But I think it's kind of the main character, or the hero, everyone thinks he's horrible, but he's not really a bad guy, and he kind of tricks this woman into marrying him so that he can take care of her or something like that. I really don't know. Very vague kind of idea about what these 2 books are about. And then People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I need to read this. It needs to happen. And I am very funny. Mark has unread. I mean, yeah, because I haven't read it yet. But anyway, this is it a second chance romance? I don't know. I don't know that the 2 main characters ever had like a romance, but I do know that they go on vacation together like every summer. Things happen. They decide to take one last vacation, and I'm guessing that they fall in love. Everyone loved this book last year. Did it win the Goodreads Choice Awards? I don't remember, but it was on the list, and I'm excited to finally read it. And then the last book on that list is Blood Heir by Ilona Andrews. I know this is like the second series in her, what is it, the Kate Daniels world, but I'm hoping that I can read this without having all of the knowledge of that, because I know this is like the first book in the new series, so I'm hoping that it's gonna be fine. If not, I will try my best. But those are all of the books that I have physically from that list. Other than that, some physical books that I'm hoping to read. I have my carryover from Sense and Sensibility. I have only read the first 35 pages. So far, I'm actually really enjoying this. So it's not like slow or anything, and I'm not feeling like it's not good. It's just my brain, where it's been, need more time. But I am actually really enjoying this so far. I am doing a Christina Lauren reread where I'm reading all of their backlist romance novels. I'm reading them in publication order or series order, and the last book I read was Beautiful Bitch, and so the next novella is Beautiful Bombshell. Unfortunately, still waiting for my hold to come through from the library, but once I read that novella, I'll be able to start Beautiful Player, which is my favorite book of the Beautiful Bastard series, one of my top 2 favorite Christina Lauren books, so I am so excited to finally be able to reread this book again. As soon as that library hold comes in, I'm going to read that novella as fast as possible, and then I'm starting this book immediately. Then I made a trip to Barnes & Noble last weekend, and I picked up 2 books that I'd really like to read kind of quickly. First, I have Electric Idol by Katie Robert. I was not a fan at all of the first book in the series, Neon Gods, but I've heard so many good things about how like people really enjoyed this book a lot more. So I'm hoping that it is good, because I did purchase it. The things that I did not enjoy about the first book was the world building. I felt like it wasn't descriptive enough, and so it led to a lot of confusion about what kind of world we actually were in. Like, it made my enjoyment of the book terrible. So I think I gave Neon Gods 2 stars. I'm hoping that this one kind of just, you know, completes that world building, gives me a more, like, a better idea of what's actually going on in this world, and just has a great romance. I know this has a lot of good tropes, like Eros is sent to kill Psyche and they end up falling in love. There's a fake marriage, so many good things. So I'm really excited to read this book. And then I also did purchase The Fastest Way to Fall by Denise Williams. I read her other book last year, How to Fail at Flirting, which was one of my favorite romances that I read last year, so highly recommend that. And so I'm excited to read this one. I know it's about this woman who's a journalist who, I think she's trying to get a promotion, and so she uses this new app that has to do with fitness or something like that. I'm really interested to see how Denise Williams kind of tackles the whole diet culture issue and negativeness while having a plus size main character. I'm really, really looking forward to, because I feel like she's going to have really great discussion on it, and I'm really excited to get into that, and also to read a great romance again, because the last book I read by her was fantastic. I also heard that a lot of people like this one more, so maybe this one will be better, but I don't know. I really liked the last one. And then a couple more other books for my library book club. We're reading I think it's The Lions of Fifth Avenue by Fiona Davenport. It's historical fiction. I think it has to do with libraries. I don't know though. I don't know that I'm gonna finish or I'm gonna read this book. I've been contemplating leaving the book club for various reasons, so we'll see what happens at our up and coming book club meeting. And then some Kindle Unlimited books I'd like to read. The Words by Jade. I've seen so many people on TikTok talk about this book. I know it is a like rock star romance, which immediately I was like, no thank you. I hate rock star romances. I hate every single one that I've read I've hated. So I wasn't looking forward to that, but so many people love this book, and then they like if you've been on TikTok, you know, like people will put quotes or scenes on TikTok to try to get you to read them, and a couple of them for this book caught my eye, and I'm just like, they got me, so I'm gonna try it. And then I'd also like to read A Not So Meet Cute by Meghan Quinn, mainly because the majority of people who I've seen review it say that it's super spicy. That's literally the only reason I want to read it. And then finally, a fan fiction I'd like to read this month. Kind of a silly title, kind of a silly concept, but am I any less excited for it? Not at all. And that's Love in a Time of the Zombie Apocalypse. Yes, I'm reading a dramione fan fiction about the zombie apocalypse. It sounds insane, but like, I'm here for it. I love anything to do with the zombie apocalypse. I love TV shows, movies, books. I think Kylie Scott is the author of a zombie apocalypse romance. I think the first book is called Flesh. Kind of an icky title, but I really loved that series, so I'm excited to read another romance and dramione fan fiction. So I've also heard a lot of good things about it as well, and I'm really excited to read that. So yeah, those are some of the books on my March TBR. Physically, I've got 10, and then this would be number 11. We'll see what happens. I'm excited to get into another reading month. February was pretty good, despite that I was still kind of working through my reading slump. But I think I'm slowly inching my way out of it, and I'm feeling a lot better. So I feel like I would be able to get a good chunk of reading done this month, even with all of the things that I have coming up. My sister's getting married in April, beginning of April, so I've got a lot of stuff to do before then. And then everyone's birthday is in March, so a lot of celebrations are going to be happening soon, which is exciting. But that really cuts into my reading time. How rude. But those are all of the reading plans for February. For March, and I'm really excited to get into it. I'm also interested in knowing what you plan on reading for March. And I think that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope that maybe you've got some recommendations, or maybe if you have anything that you'd like to say about any of these books, I would love to hear it. Good or bad. I'm here for it. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in a new video soon.